Hello everyone, good morning. Remember I spoke about the Black Nightshade, the mysterious Black Nightshade, which is none other than this one, Pucuk Meranti in Bahasa Malaysia, or Manathakali Keerai. Well, I'm going to cook it today, so I thought I'll just let you see how I pick out the leaves. It's a little droopy, this one, because I bought it early in the morning and then I left it out and it's a bit droopy, but it's still good to go. So this is what you do. Did I show it to you? Yeah. Alright, so basically you just take the leaves off like this, like so, and right at the tip here, right at this tip here, you can just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to pick off the leaves, and you only use the leaves to cook. So I'm going to make a quick recipe with this. So these are the leaves that I've picked, and I'm going to show you how to cook a recipe with these leaves. And as for the stems, I did mention during my last video when I did the video on this vegetable, that you could easily propagate this plant. So what you do is you keep the stems, especially the tough ones or the firmer stems like these, okay, and then you snip off the tip, because you don't know when it was harvested from the farmer, so you don't know when it was harvested. So by the time you take to bring it home and cook it, this end here would have closed, and the stem won't be able to absorb water. So now I've cut the tip, and then you get a jar of water and you stick it, in this case it's a vase, you stick it in there so that that stem would be able to absorb water, and you do the same with the others. So what I did was I kept the tougher or the harder, firmer stems to propagate, not the thin ones. And it would be good if you kept some leaves. In this case, I think I kept some, not all of them, because I kind of forgot. Like this one, you see there's a few leaves left just at the tip. That's a good method to hasten the process of the plant growing roots and leaves. So after this, once I've done that, I'll show you how to cook this vegetable, and after that I will also show you how to stick these into the soil, and then I'll show you some that I've already sort of grown into Manathakali Keerai. So the recipe I'm going to cook today is South Indian stir-fried vegetable dish. I do notice that essentially a South Indian stir-fried vegetable dish, the one that is dry, is very similar to the ones that we do in Malaysia, the South Indians in Malaysia cook. I noticed that the difference seems to be in the way in the name. Like in South India, they call it a poriyal, whereas in Malaysia, we call it a peroto. So I don't know, it's essentially the same thing. Oh yeah, and another difference I noticed is that in India, the vegetable dish tends to be just vegetarian. It's purely vegetarian, and if you're going to add anything extra to the vegetables, it would be like lentils, it would be like coconut, it would be beans, stuff like that. And everything would be protein packed, but it would be vegetarian. Whereas in Malaysia, it's either plain vegetables, or we would add non-vegetarian ingredients inside. Like we would add dried shrimp, we would add prawns, fresh prawns inside to the vegetable dish, or we would add pieces of meat, pieces of like liver sometimes. So that seems to be the difference that I noticed. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have noticed this in recipes that I see on TV and so on, and even on my trips to India, my relatives and so on, they don't cook the vegetables with any meat inside it. Oh, I forgot. In Malaysia, we sometimes even add dried anchovies into our vegetable stir-fried vegetable dishes. So if you ask me what I prefer, traditional South Indian poriyals, or Malaysian style South Indian peritals, I would say I love both, because essentially our roots, a majority of the Indians in Malaysia, our roots are from South India, from Tamil Nadu, a majority then, if not all of us, and my roots are from Tamil Nadu, from South India. So I do love traditional Indian food. I love them. I love traditional vegetables which are purely vegetarian. But I do also like Malaysian peritals, which has a Malaysian twist to it, like with all the shrimp and the prawns and stuff like that as well, because we are essentially Malaysian Indians. So we love both. We have the best of both worlds. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to use. Some coconut oil. You can use any oil of your choice. Some mixed spices. So if you want to know what the mixed spices are, well, traditionally we use three different spices. Basically, it's split urad dal, then some mustard seeds and some cumin seeds. So this is usually like a quick for stir fries. We use for simple stir fries we use this mixed spices. Some people have to add other spices in here as well, but this is the combination that my mom used to use. So I just follow that: split urad dal, some mustard seeds, some cumin seeds, which I mix in a certain ratio, which I follow my mom. Okay, so so we also have some sliced garlic, some sliced onions, just about that much, not much. Dried chili, about 4 dried chilies, which I've cut and I've washed them as well. Some grated coconut. Okay, and these are the washed leaves, Black Nightshade leaves. Since the one I bought wasn't organic, so I washed it using. I wanted to be fast today, so I didn't use baking powder, salt, or any of those. I just used this one, which is a veggie wash. I just used this. It's a store-bought veggie wash. So I used it, soaked it in there for a while, and then now these are. And then I'm going to use it now. So I've turned on the stove, and I'm going to heat some oil, about that much. Okay. Once it's heated, the pan is hot, so I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons of mixed spices, and then you'll hear the sound. Can you hear that? That's the crackling or the spluttering. And then you put your dried chili. You turn down the heat, and then add the chilies. Add the sliced onions, sliced garlic, let it saute for a bit. You can turn up the heat now. Just a little bit. So now you add the vegetables, the green leaves, just give it a quick stir. I remember reading somewhere that if you want your green vegetables to remain green, you can add a pinch of sugar or jaggery. So I'm just going to let this saute a little bit. Add some salt. About half a teaspoon. a tiny bit of jaggery because I want that green color. This is jaggery, just about a quarter teaspoon. You honestly don't have to add the jaggery if you didn't want to. I do it because I like the taste and I also want my vegetables to be green. I'm not sure about adding sugar and vegetable turning green, but I did read it somewhere. Now you can just add a little bit of water, just a very little, that much maybe, yeah, and close this. A bit of a stir first. Close it for a bit. Because the leaves are quite long, you can even use a scissor and kind of chop it up a little bit, so it's easier to mix with the coconut later. So it has been cooking in steam for about 3 minutes. Now add your grated coconut. I think this is a bit too much because look how little it has shriveled up to. Look at that, so little. So I'm just going to add maybe half of this. Yeah, this is about half a cup. So now I'm just going to add less, maybe a quarter. Let me just see how it looks like. Yeah, I think that should do it. Otherwise it'll be all coconut and not much vegetable. Yeah. Yep, and it's done. I think I need to add a little bit more water because I think I need to cook this a little bit more. Yeah. So maybe another minute or so, maybe or maybe even 2 minutes, because these vegetables sometimes you need a little more time for it to cook. Okay, so now it's done. Another reason why I add a tiny bit of sugar sometimes is because this particular vegetable can be a little bit bitter, but it's bitter because it's nutritious as well. So I just add a little bit of sugar to balance the taste. Anyway, it's done now. So here is my Manathakali Keerai Poriyal or Paratal, or you could say pucuk meranti, stir-fried pucuk meranti, or stir-fried black nightshade. So here it is. I think it looks nice. So thank you very much everyone for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe and our little chat today as much as I did. Bye everyone.